Thanks for tuning in. This is Real Tea Time Tarot, and I have a message for the Twinflame Collective. I got this earlier today, and I had to kind of wait until late to do this video. I guess I really couldn't even sleep until I went ahead and got it out. So what I have here is the Two of Cups, the High Priestess, which is a 2 card, the Knight of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, the Emperor clarified by the Nine of Swords, the Two of Pentacles clarified by the Three of Discs, the Lover's card, the Hangman clarified by the Hangman, the Nine of Cups clarified by the Emperor. Underneath the bottom of the deck, we had the Seven of Swords, the Queen of Swords in reverse, and the Death card. The entire reading, all the numbers came out to the number 37, and the number 37 breaks down to 10. If you wanted to further break it down, it could be 5, and we know 5 is change. But with the 10, I got the Empath card. I don't know if you can see this here. This is the Empath card. And so I'm going to do my best to get this read and read that. I probably have to put down my camera to read it, so you can just listen when I get to that part. I mean, you don't really have to watch. You can just listen. So Two of Cups, we all know Two of Cups is twin flame energy. It's actually union energy. As you can see here, he and she are bound. You know, they're bound by something that is otherworldly. As you can see in the background of this card, there's the moon, or what people would think is the moon. A lot of times we look at the moon and we think it's the moon, but it's actually Nibiru, which is just, Nibiru is not a moon. Nibiru is a rock just like the earth. But beyond that, we see that her head is illuminated just as the cup is, as to say that the cup is actually an extension of the divine feminine. And so the divine masculine is actually beginning to see that his divine feminine has, like a glory about her, and is beginning to, is blinding him in something he cannot ignore. Next we have the High Priestess energy. And as you can see, the High Priestess is, she's holding, this is a scroll. It's not a book, it's a scroll. So, before we had books, we had scrolls. And so that means that she is actually of a divine order, and she harnesses, it looks to me like she's harnessing the power of the magician. She's harnessing the element of air, and she's above it all. She's actually sitting on top of the world. She's on the moon looking down. And where you see the red and the blue, The red and the blue is, like the yin yang or the dualities of the twin flame journey. And so there's that possibility this with this union that you and your divine counterpart share. There is a, like an underlying knowing of how people will react to it. And so maybe for some time, in which I don't see time, but I do see this black cat here in this card. And so I guess the main thing that needs to be said is that your union is protected, that your masculine is, it's like he's got love on the brain. As you can see, his sleeve is red, and it almost appears, his sleeve is green. I don't know why I said that. His sleeve is green, and it even appears that his hair is green. Green is the embodiment of love. And so the way that he feels about you, he is now protecting that. So at some point, there may have been a breakdown in your union where you felt that your union was not protected and your divine masculine did not protect you, divine feminine. But as you can see in the same Two of Cups card, there are ships. I don't know if you can really see them, but there are ships in the background. They're coming in. As we come over here to the Knight of Cups, it would appear that, the Knight is not headed towards the High Priestess, which would be, of course, the divine feminine, but the Knight is headed toward the Pentacle. The Pentacle is actually embodying magician energy as well. So that's two cards of, magical, mystical energy. And then we also have the Two of Cups and the High Priestess being a 2 card. So far we have 2, 1, 2, 3 2s, and then even on the High Priestess card, as you can see, there's 2 waxing and waning moons. So that's 4 of the number 2 so far. Then we come to the 4 of Wands card, in which some people would say it's the 1111 card, or, the Twin Flame card. And so with this 1111 card being here right next to this 8 of Pentacles, it's like to tell someone you're not imagining things. The twin flame union that you are embodying is actually an extension of the way you feel about yourself. Maybe you had doubts in yourself at one point, or you were looking for, that entourage to show up and, give you that yes man service. But you're going to have to, push all that to the side to do what needs to be done in order to come into union in 3D with what you have been manifesting in, the upper realms. With this Emperor card here, as you can see, the Emperor he's holding his wand. It's between his legs. He's actually got what appears to be like the golden globe in his hand, or the golden egg, almost to say that his His feminine is his world. And when he comes in to union with you, he's coming in, in this, in this stubborn energy, but it's not really about you, you know. It's about all these rocks, all of these hills, all of these mountains that he has had to climb in order to, be real with himself about this energy. It's almost to say these swords are real because he's thinking them real, you know. He's thinking about something. And it looks as though he's looking over at two children, you know. And for me, he's all in his head about everything, especially your union. He's remembering the promises that you all made when you had the time to talk, to sit, to just be like two kids together. And he's looking away from this, like this two of Pentacles. He's looking away from it, but he's thinking about it. And so, as you can see, we go from the 2 to the 3 here. And so it's like he's saying, it's like the energy is saying he's going to switch some things around, so he can go ahead and start building where he should be building or what he should be building. But it's really about just taking the next step to get to you, his divine feminine. As you can see, there are even steps here in the Lover's card. And then the divine is, like hovering above, beckoning you both to come into your divinity for the world to see. And this is really more about, overcoming worldly things and realizing, what really makes your sun shine, realizing that getting back to who you really are makes the big difference, That's what you were realizing, like you got this big crow here. And so the crow embodies the energy of like maybe a past life deity, god or goddess, returning, like returning to create balance where there is chaos and confusion. And so you get this, you get this 9 of Cups here, and everybody thinks that 9 of Cups is all there is. But, nearest to me is the pumpkin. And so even the look on her face, it's almost like she's saying, look what I did, look what I created, look what I came up with. But the 9 of Cups card here has this pumpkin, which is that wish, And so obviously that 9 of Cups that is created is outside of the wish that was there, initially. And then that stubborn energy, you get this Saturn energy. And then Saturn energy, for me, it's like it's saying it's time to pay the piper. It's karma coming in. And so whatever you have, neglected or overlooked or tried to build, it may be pretty and it may look fancy, but it's not divine. So it's time to get real with that. It's time to face that so that you can do what you're really here to do. We can read this two ways. It's time to put a death to not being in your truth and acknowledging all of this confusion, Or you could say that these confusion or all of these people are, they're afraid. They're afraid of the judgment that comes with the journey. And that's the reason why, you haven't been in your truth. But it's time to put a death to all of that. Because as you can see, this death card is not about, the traditional meaning of death as we look at it. To me, it says, there's two of cups in this card, and you're standing by, your current situation, but you're facing a situation that you may have tried to look away from, but there's something magnetic about it that brings love to mind. Because as you can see, here we have this being and we have this Ankh in its hand. And so we all know the power of the Ankh. It's the fertility, magnetism, mothering, harnessing the essence of, union. And so these are things that you may be feeling right now, or the energy that you may be in if you are a divine masculine, divine feminine on the twin flame journey. So I'm just going to read this empathy, or just a few, like snippets out of it. It starts on page 71 of the book, and it says, "Love is but the discovery of ourselves in others, and the delight in the recognition." And that's followed by empathy is the deep understanding we can have for other people. It springs from our ability to recognize ourselves in them and them in us. Empathy is the bridge of the heart that spans the differences between people. It enables a two-way traffic of feelings and experiences, unrestricted by the border guards of judgment and rejection. It links us to our partners through absolute acceptance of each other's realities. So I guess that's the message for the twins. So if you've been hearing, or experiencing things that would draw you towards the Seven of Swords energy, that's confusion, that's not of God, that's not of your God-like mentality. You don't have to believe those things. You don't have to even allow that to penetrate, you know, learn from, I guess that's confirmation. Learn from your masculine and, you know, put the armor of God on. Don't get stuck in this upside down energy, lying to yourself about who you are so you can be accepted by these people because they're miserable. There's not one smile on one face in this card. But as you can see, here what we have, the divine counterparts. She's smiling and she's inviting him to come into her light. And so this is for you coming into union with yourself. Go into your own light. Stop looking for friends and the people that you have expected to be there because you were there for them to build you up right now. Because that's not how it's going to work. Realistically, if you plan on having this Four of Wands, not many people have it, so not many people will want to see you with it, you know. But be strong, because you have achieved so much, and you're only one step away, you know, just like how we had this Three of Discs right after this Two of Pentacles. It's basically the same suit. And it's saying you are one step away from getting this right this time. Don't make it about anything but you building you. With all this magic, with all this confirmation, it's just time to walk through that door. You know, you may be the only one brave enough to walk through it, but I guarantee you that's from where you're coming from, because your divine counterpart, as you can see, this is two different sets of cards, but you can see her head is glowing. This doorway is glowing, you know. So if, you know, divine masculine, your divine feminine is there. She's already battled this confusion, you know, or divine feminine. Your divine masculine is there and waiting for you. So this could be spiritually, mentally, physically. But you, with the double hangman energy, it lets you know that spirit was there while you were hanging around. But you have become enlightened. You know, the key is now yours. You have the key. The key is the divine feminine, and the door is open. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I hope this energy resonates with someone. You can check out more info in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get this video out and more like it.